This is the Apostles of Jesus Outreach Ministries. And all you're getting, get understanding.
Hi, I'm Calvin of Jesus Ministries, and I'm here to give you another healthy helping of Christ. Tonight I wanted to talk just a couple of minutes about faith, particularly Christians' faith. The reason why I want to bring up this topic is because I hear a lot of. I can understand when a worldly person comes to a saint and say, "Can you pray for me or pray with me?" And I can understand that because they don't have the faith that they need to move forward. Their faith is more in the person's praying for them than it is in the God, because they don't have a faith of their own. But when I hear Christians asking pastors or other Christians to pray for me, pray for me, pray for me, pray for this and pray for that, and I'm sitting back and I'm listening to them, it really, I don't think they really understand prayer and how it's supposed to work, or God, or I don't know what they don't understand, but it doesn't seem smart to me. So what I wanted to do tonight is just make a couple of points. First, faith is the belief in something greater than you. Faith is the belief in a deity that governs our entire lives. It has control over our entire lives. Now, you build a relationship with your God or your deity through conversation. How do you have conversation with him? You pray to him. You meditate to him. Whatever it is that you do for your particular faith. That thing that you do creates a relationship between you and your deity. This gives you the rights via your deity to ask for anything that you want. And he should answer you in the same way. What do I mean? What I mean is this. If you need to pray to ask God to heal something in your body, your prayer should be enough. Your faith in your prayer should be enough to get that thing taken care of. Of course, it's strength in numbers, and it may give you a stronger prayer or give you a bigger faith, but that does not necessarily make God move any more because there's more people. God moves according to you and according to your faith. So what you want to understand is that when you pray, you're talking to God. You open up a relationship with God. You're telling God, okay, I know that the only person that can help me in this situation is you. Now, we come across a couple of different problems when that comes up. Why? Well, when believing in God, walking in faith, you understand that we have certain things that we have to do. Okay? We have to walk in a certain place of righteousness. Righteousness not being perfect, meaning rightness and right standing. Okay, you say, what's right standing? Well, right standing could be the simplest thing you think about. They have the Ten Commandments. And that's the worst. That's one of the worst examples you could ask for. Having the Ten Commandments, you can still sin. So, but just for a basis, the Ten Commandments: thou shalt not steal, thou commit adultery, so on and so forth. If you are walking in just those 10, then that's where your faith is at. Now, at a certain point, you start to knowing the voice of Christ. We hope you start to hear the voice of Christ, because you're going to God. After years and years of praying, after years and years of following Christ, you're going to God, and you should be hearing his voice. You should know his voice. The Bible tells us that we should know his voice. Now, there's certain things about God or your deity that you should understand. Your deity shouldn't tell you to do anything wrong, because he's there to make your life better. So if your deity is telling you to go sell drugs, that is the wrong deity to be following. If he's telling you to run into somebody's house and rob them, then that's the wrong God. You got the wrong God. If your God is telling you to go out and kill somebody, That's the wrong God you following. I have yet to find a God to say kill somebody. Now, he does this. This is time to kill, steal, and destroy, and all this. But he does say it's the time of the season for everything under the sun. Now, when he talks about that killing thing, it's only in a protective aspect. When you're protecting yourself from being harmed. But even then, you shouldn't have put yourself in a position that you be harmed. And sometimes you can't afford, get out the way of it. But hey, that's basically when he's talking about time to kill. Or when somebody's attacking your family, you can protect your family. Of course you can. It's not being stupid, but it's being mindful. So, faith. Now, we go through trials and tribulations like everybody in the world. Whoever told you that when you got saved, you wasn't going to have no more problems, they lied to you. They lied to you. We go through them differently, but we still have them. Money issues, we still have them. Husband and wife issues, we still have them. Children issues, we still have them. We just deal with them in a different way. That way that we deal with them allows us to be less annoyed, less frustrated, less argumentative regarding it. It gives us a clearer vision of how to go through it. But we still go through it. Most of the pastors that you'll see, most of the ministers or apostles or whatever, most of them have gone through several levels of faith. They've gone through where they were, and the first faith is the faith that goes through cleaning you up, the individual themselves. A lot of times you'll see saints sit right there. They spend the next 40 years cleaning themselves up. That's because they won't commit. They're interested in it, but they won't commit to it. Now, when it comes to faith, and I don't want to make this drawn out too long, but when it comes to faith, you have to believe that the God you serve talks to you. You have to have a relationship with God so that when you go to speak to him and you ask him for an answer, he will answer. He is not going to answer you if you don't have a relationship with him. Let me say this to you. If you just walk up to a stranger in the middle of the streets and ask them how you going to pay your bills, do you think they really going to tell you how to pay your bills? Go get a job, pay your bills. Right? If they don't curse you out when you ask them that question. But you got to understand, you can't treat God like a stranger until you need him. You can't treat God like a side chick. You only go over when you want something from him. You can't do that and expect to give the favor of Christ to rest on your life. It just doesn't work that way. In the Bible, there was a woman, and it's a highly used story. She had an issue of blood for, I think it was 20 years. And she went through physicians, she spent up all her money, things like that, trying to get this issue taken care of. And then she heard about this man named Jesus. So she goes out, she tries to find, he's coming through her town, and so she runs out to try to find this guy, and it's a big crowd around him, she can't get to him. But she said to herself, she's going to do everything she can to get to him. So you know what she does? She gets on her knees, she crawls through the crowd, she reaches out and she touches his cloak that he has on. The Bible literally says the hem of his garment. At that moment, she was made whole. But God said these words. Jesus said these words. He said, because of your faith, you're made whole. Not because you touched my garment, not because you felt virtue out of me, but because of your faith, you were made whole. Because you believe that if you got to me and you were able to touch me, you will be made whole. Not because something crazy or something unrealistic, because you believe that your faith in God was so strong that if you touched him, if you got to God, you can make it. And that's what faith is about. I'm going to do a quick testimony and I'm out of here. Several years ago, I guess it was actually at the beginning of of walking with Christ, and it had to be about, wow, a long time ago. But I keep this testimony around because I remember all the things we go through. Me and my wife, we had bought our first house, and we were just living the dream, living the dream. She was working, I was working, money was flowing like milk and honey. We just having a great time. And then it was one day our lights got cut off. We first didn't understand. We just thought it was just because we thought it was an electrical problem or something like that. We literally started looking around for electrical problems. Like, did the blinkers go off? Why is our lights off? Because we knew the bill was paid. We knew it was paid. And the lights was off. So I calls. We got the cell phone. I called a PSC&G, and the PSC&G people tell us that we owe them this money. Now, the thing about it was this. I said, okay, I'll call you back. I hang up the phone. I go to my wife. I says, honey, I tell her what the PSC&G people said, and we had the money in the bank account. Now, this is the choice we had. We could pay them right there on the spot and have maybe $100 to last us to pay our next pay period. Or dispute it. But if we disputed it, we still might not have our lights on that night or that day. So my wife did something for the first time she ever did it. She said, pray about it. She told me to pray about it. She told me to pray about it because I was the head. Pray about it. I went and I prayed about it. And ironically, and when I came out of prayer, the Spirit spoke to me and said, don't pay it. He said, the Spirit spoke to me as clear as day and said, don't pay it. Wait. I went to her. No lights. Now, if you ain't got no lights, you ain't got no TV, no cable, no video games, your food in the refrigerator is going to go bad. No PSG. I came to her and I told her what God said to me. She had enough faith in my prayers to God to say, okay, we not paying it. We sat in that house for 7 days. Well, actually 6 days. 6 days. The crazy thing about it was for 6 days, it was middle of the summer, hot, 900 degrees outside. I'm exaggerating, but it was very hot outside. 6 days straight. We outside, we grilling out, we cooking food daily, trying to get the food out the refrigerator, cooking it up so we went and bought ice to keep stuff cool. 6 days we did this. Now, what you might not understand is for 6 days, every day we had company. 6 days straight we had company every day. It was like having a vacation, 6-day vacation. I mean, it was great. It was wonderful. We had a marvelous time. We couldn't watch TV. We couldn't watch cable. We couldn't do all this other stuff, but we had a great, wonderful time. We had a time that was so great. On the 7th day, we left our house and we went into a hotel room for the night because we couldn't get no rest in our own house. People, I tell you the truth, people were literally coming over our house. By the time we wake up, or by the time we woke up in the summertime, they were staying there the whole day. Leaving 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm talking we out back with candles, grilling out, sodas, and wonderful time, great time. And I was like, babe, I'm tired. 7th day, we got up, we left the house, we went and got some motel room because we were so tired of having so much fun, of so much company all over the place. And we had no lights. Never mind, we have no lights, no electricity at all. On the 7th day, on the 8th day, which is that Monday, we came back home. We sat down, me and my wife, picked up the phone. Well, I was about to pick up the phone to call call the PSNG people and tell them we're going to pay them. Because he said 7 days. Leave it for 7 days. He said leave it. 7 days, leave it. I came home. We came home on that Monday. After getting some rest. We came home. I went to pick up the phone to call PSNG people. They told us on the phone that they made a mistake. They turned our electric on immediately and then gave us a refund for the time they had turned the phone off to go to the next month's bill. Faith. And I don't know about you. When this happened to us, my children I had all 4 children. They were small. They were little children. We got 4 little children, me and my wife, in the house. And every day we got company coming over, having cookouts and sitting up drinking iced teas and just having a great time. Just sitting outside, enjoying the weather, enjoying kids running around like it's nothing. We got a pool in the backyard. They playing in the pool, all kinds of stuff going on. No lights, no electricity at all. 7 days, and on the 7th day, on the 8th day, when I went to call them, they told us that. 8, meaning new beginnings. What you got to understand is that story is only about faith. It's only about me believing that when I talk to God, He talks back to me. That believing that the relationship that we have together, that when I sit in my private room and pray to my God, when I read His Word and I meditate on His Word daily, when I'm spending time with my God, He hears me. He understands my cry. And though His thinking may not be like my thinking, I know that I can't do it alone. I believe that whatever He tells me, I do. Period. If He tells me, do this, I may not understand it, I'm gone. But that's the level of my faith. That's the level, if you're going to church, if you've been going to church for some time, the level of your faith should grow. You shouldn't be beckoning for the pastor to help pray for your child out there on drugs. You shouldn't be beckoning for the ministerial staff to pray for your bills, because those are things that you should be praying for yourself. Because God will make you a good steward over what He's given you if you talk to Him. He will show you how to manage your money. He will show you how to take that equity in your house and use it for what's right. He'll teach you that, okay, when I get my income tax today, I'm not going to try to blow it all on sneakers and this right here. Or when I get my check at the beginning of the month, I know that I got to pay this bill, this bill, this bill. Or He'll even tell you, if you need to downsize. Sometimes you're living above your means. Now the problem with us is we don't want to do the things that God would tell us to do better. We use Him like He's a superhero. Okay, zoom. My bill is due. Zoom. You know, you got to make a choice. Am I going to buy them shoes or am I going to pay my light bill? Well, I'm going to buy these shoes and ask God to pay the light bill. What type of junk is that? Listen, saints, it's real simple. You either make a choice. The Bible says, give thee this day, choose ye this day, life or death. Whom will you serve? You want an abundant life? You want a wonderful life? You want a peaceful life? Change. Take this thing called Christ and delve into it. Delve into the depths of it. If you believe that only the prophets in your house can tell you something, God can speak to you just like He speaks to the prophets. God can speak to you just like He speaks to your pastor. In most cases, prophets are only coming there to confirm what God already told you. And if they're not, then you may be having the wrong prophet. Anyway, I just want to tell you today, saints, stop putting so much pressure on the other people to speak to your God. Open up the lines of communication and sit down and speak to him. You know, sitting down here right now, just talking like this, I can talk to God the same way. There's no structure that you have to follow to talk to God. You don't even have to be saved to be able to talk to God. You don't have to be saved to bring in a lot of the gifts that God wants you, but you don't have to be saved to talk to God. I know plenty of people wait till they get in the hurt. God, personally say, God help me, God. Yeah, but you ain't spoke to God in 25 years. Now all of a sudden you about to get evicted from your house and you, God, I need some help. It's not rocket science. It's life. Understanding that what you put into your religion is what you'll get out of it. And if you're too lazy to talk to your God, then you kind of lazy, because that's like not wanting to talk to your husband, or not wanting to talk to your wife, not wanting to be with your girlfriend, or not wanting to be with your boyfriend, not wanting to spend time with your kids. I have a new granddaughter, and she can't even understand what I'm saying. But I'll sit there and we'll sing songs together, we talk together and everything else. And I know a lot of people sit there and do their kids the same way. Goo goo boo goo goo boo goo goo. You know that crazy stuff we talk. But you spend time with that child, bonding with that child, till they get to a certain point where they know your voice. Even if they don't understand the words coming out your mouth, they know your voice. They know your smell. They know your touch. And that's how God is. If you take time out for God, He'll take time out for you. I'm Calvin. This is AJ Ministries. I want to thank you for coming by. And as always, let's keep it out, boy!
This is the Apostles of Jesus Outreach Ministries. And all you're getting, get understanding.